one and only one.
Welcome back to San Antonio Living. It is still summer travel season, so Diane Gottsman, our etiquette expert, is joining us with probably the most important information that you need when you head out. Who do you tip? How much do you tip? When do you tip them? It's huge information because I hate when you're on vacation, you're like,
it's confusing.
Yeah.
And what we tend to do is we overtip because we're nervous that we look cheap.
Absolutely. I know. It is always better to overtip. Okay, so let's roll through some of the different people that you might meet when you're on vacation, and you tell me when to tip them and how much I should tip them. And we'll start with the hotel valet. Do I tip them when I arrive or when I depart?
You tip them when you depart.
Okay.
So when you drive up, they help you with the door. You don't say anything but thank you so much. Now, if they help you with your bags, you tip.
Okay.
You're not tipping for their service as a valet. You're tipping because they took your luggage out.
Got it. Okay, so as the valet, when I do leave, say I stay for 5 days, how much should I tip them per day?
Well, how many times are you coming and going per day? So every time you pick up your car or they bring you your car, you're tipping them a couple of dollars.
Okay.
And think about how long you're going to stay, and you let them know, I'm going to be here 5 days. Are you going to be here every single day?
Sure.
So they know that you're going to continue tipping them.
Okay, the bellman, the one that takes your luggage to your room, gets it out of the car, puts it up on the big luggage rack. How much should we tip him?
$1 to $2 per bag, depending on how heavy those bags are. If they're very, very heavy and they have to lift them. Now, if you want to forego that bellman, think ahead. So you're going to purchase some luggage. It has wheels. You're not going to overpack, so you're not trying to maneuver all of this luggage. So you'll just roll one piece of luggage up, and that's easy for you.
Because you're not going to get that big old magic cart unless you're using the bellman.
Yeah, do not take that magic cart away from the bellman. Really, that's very rude because that's what they're using to help guests.
Good point.
And do not put it in your room.
Don't hoard it.
Don't hide it, hoard it, put it in your room.
That's my cart. Okay, that's good to know. The housekeeper, the hotel housekeeper, what about that person?
Well, they change daily sometimes. So you leave them something daily, $2 to $5, just something, and put it on your pillow or someplace that they know it's for them. It's just not spare change or dollar bills on the counter because they're not going to take, hopefully, they're not going to take your money off the counter.
And you should do daily because you're right, different people come in and out every day.
Absolutely.
Okay. Room service. If you get room service, how much should you tip and when?
Well, when they come, you're going to give them a tip, but you're going to make sure first that they haven't already put gratuity into the bill. And you're going to tip them about 15% of the bill. And not just room service. If somebody comes up and gives you extra towels, if you call and say, look, I need 4 extra towels, or I need an iron, tip them $1. Yeah, $1 to $2, depending on what they're doing for you and how much you're bringing.
Okay, the hotel concierge, how much should we tip that person?
Well, if they're just making a basic reservation, they just, make the reservation for you, 30 seconds, just a thank you suffices.
Okay.
If they are getting you tickets to a hard-to-get theater or rock concert or something, and it's sold out, $20 upwards.
Sure. Okay. What about the doorman?
Yeah, well, you don't have to tip the doorman unless he hails a cab for you. That's $1. And if he holds that umbrella over your head because it's pouring down raining, give him a couple dollars.
This, I get confused because a lot of places there's a doorman, there's the valet, and there's the concierge and the bellhop, all in the same area, all wearing the same clothes.
Yes, and they're all helping. And it's like the football. They're passing you off from one to the other.
Yeah.
So you carry bills with you. You carry be prepared because you're going to say, oh gosh, all I have is 10 now, or 5. I have to give them a 5.
I hate when that happens. Okay, the hotel bartender. What should we do there?
About 15 to 20% of the bill, or if you're just ordering one drink, give them $1.
For sure. The hairdresser at the hotel, what do you think
absolutely have to tip. Some people say, well, it's a hotel, I don't have to tip the spa treatment, and you do, 15 to 20% of the bill.
Okay.
Of your service, I should say.
Same with the manicurist, the pedicurist. Maybe you're staying at a hotel with a spa.
Same. Make sure they haven't already factored in gratuity into the bill, though.
Okay. The taxi driver. Now, what do we do with that?
Well, you're going to give them something, and you're going to give them, depending on how much of a service they provide, are they taking out your luggage once again, but about 15% of the fare. And don't be surprised if you don't tip enough. Do not be surprised if they make a comment, because that often happens. It's rude, they shouldn't, but sometimes they do.
Okay, what about all right, the rental car guy. You're at the airport, you're getting a car, but you need to take a shuttle
Yes.
to get to the car. That guy's picking up your bags, putting them in the shuttle for you.
Yes.
What do you do about that?
$1 per bag, or if you have just one bag, you may want to give them a couple dollars if you have an extra couple of dollars.
Okay.
But you do want to give them something for lugging all of that luggage up, and especially if you have a big family and all of this luggage, it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's heavy.
Okay, all right, let's see. Well, I'm going to throw this out at you.
Okay.
Because we were recently on a vacation. We went to an all-inclusive resort. And when you go all-inclusive, it includes your tips.
Right.
But there is no way that I could go through an entire vacation and not tip. So we tipped everybody. I mean, we weren't throwing money out left and right, but we, we probably took $40 and $1 bills, and we were handing out tips here and there. What do you do in that situation when you're in an all-inclusive situation and they say that your tips are covered?
Right. You know what? Now, it depends on the hotel, because some do not, they will not allow their people to take
Some of them
tips,
we had to
gratuity.
do on the down low.
Yes. Well,
Like, they would come and bring you drinks, and I'm like, here's the $1, and those people would take it. But then when you were at dinner at night, we scanned the crowd to see what everyone else was doing, and it was all kind of under the table.
Because they could lose their job if they accept that tip.
Woo.
However, if it's all inclusive, but they can take an extra gratuity, and if you feel like they've done a great job, by all means, give them a little something extra. If you're comfortable, it all depends on your budget. But tipping should be included in your factoring in your budget, because that's part of the vacation.
Do you think tipping changes, coast to coast, like here in Texas, something might be understood versus when you're in New York, if you're traveling on a vacation? In New York, it might be a little different tip scale.
The tip scale is pretty standard. It depends, I don't want to say that Texans tip less, but
It's
we
based on the economy a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the budget and the economy, and it's tough times right now. But we have to remember that service providers work on tips.
Absolutely. And you don't look funny if you roll up with a wad of $1 bills, right?
No, wrapped up in a rubber band, don't do it.
All right. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Great information. Now I know when I travel, I need to be armed with some cash, and I'll have a great trip.
That's right. Happy traveling.
Let me tell you where you can find Diane. Diane travels the country giving speeches to all sorts of different businesses. She's got a great website. You can follow her on Twitter as well. She runs the Protocol School of Texas right here in San Antonio. It's on Austin Highway, PSOTX.com. Go to DianeGottsman.com. That's her website. And again, you can follow her on Twitter, twitter.com/Diane Gottsman, or call for an appointment, 826-7400.